John Erlichman, again, you broke the news. You've been going through the press release. What else?
Listen, it's so important, Adam, to read the wording in this press release tied to the buyback. Tim Cook has to sit there and listen to everybody talk about Apple's stock price going from $700 to $400. And the wording is so telling. We believe so strongly that repurchasing our shares represents an attractive use of our capital that we've dedicated the vast majority of the increase in our capital return program to share repurchases. In other words, okay, Wall Street, you don't like our stock? Fine. We're going to put most of this massive amount of money that we're putting basically back to work, giving it back to shareholders indirectly by buying our stock. I mean, it's an amazing, it'll be interesting to hear what Tim Cook has to say about the stock, which he's been willing to address. He addressed it at the annual meeting when he said, look, shareholders, you don't like this? I don't like it either. The other quick thing I just want to throw in, guys, is obviously China's an important market to them, international revenue. International revenue was 66%, so two-thirds of the sales that Apple generated in the period were that much. In the same period last year, it was 64%. It was, I think, 61% in the first quarter. I'm not sure if that's a record in terms of international for them, but clearly markets like China are so important to them right now.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, their international division or sales. But, Cory, I know you've got something else on Apple.
Well, just a couple of things. I want to also, we were talking about ASPs of the iPad, and I want to mention the price of the iPhone as well. Apple got $613 for each iPhone that it sold in the last quarter, and that's the least that Apple has received for the average selling price of an iPhone since all the way back in 2009. So that also suggests the blend of products sold wasn't always at the high end, that they were selling some of these devices at the lower end as well, lowering the ASP for the product. And I know John made some mention before of the cash flow from operations, and I'll just toss in there was one really gigantic change in the Apple balance sheet, and that was the accounts payable line. It went down by about $10 billion. So Apple paying their business partners that money that they owe them. And so that change, while that has been a source of cash in the past in the cash flow statement, it was a use of cash in this quarter. Without that change, in other words, cash flow from operations would have been much higher, maybe $10 billion higher.